What's up guys, Ebi-hime here, welcome back to another visual novel. Today we got a game called Lily of the Valley. Pretty much it's about a young man, you're a main character. Your mother has passed away and you meet a strange girl in the Welsh countryside. So this game's not that long, you know what I mean, 2 hours. It has been ages since I made a video, but you know, I got the whole week off now, so yeah. Funerals. Jesus, I think this is when his mother died. I hate funerals. Then again, I think most people do. I can't imagine anybody genuinely enjoying them. Yeah, you should never enjoy a funeral. It's just the most depressing. Like, I've been to a funeral. It's the most depressing place to be. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be there. There's not much of a party atmosphere at funerals. Everyone has to wear black. People sit on pews in neat little rows, their heads bowed in suitable solemnity. Solemnity. What do you say, solemnity? I don't know. And listen as a priest gives a long talk. Okay, so there's different choices, different paths, you know what I mean. This priest is a grave looking man with high cheekbones, and though I feel ashamed for even thinking this, looks a little like a villain from a Disney film. He talks about what a treasure the deceased was, and how deeply valued they were by all in the community, and what a great loss their tragic passing is. Her passing wasn't tragic. If anything, it sounds comical. Something stupid that might happen in a sketch show, but not real life. She choked on a muffin, not even a nice muffin, like chocolate or blueberry. Bran, banana and bran, to be more precise. I suppose that's to be expected though. That she choked on an unpleasant muffin. I mean, not that she choked on a muffin to begin with. Nobody could have predicted that. She was on a diet. I don't really know why. I thought she looked fine. But I didn't know a lot about her. I can count the number of times I've been back home over the last decade on one hand. Ever since I went to university, then got a job, I haven't had the time. London's pretty far away, and the travel costs are so expensive. And anyway, it's hard to get time off from work, and there was no real pressing reason for me to return either. Though my parents were starting to get on in years, they were still healthy. They worked full-time jobs, went for long walks in the countryside, and always made time to watch my sister compete in the netball tournaments. They were just fine. I thought they were fine. And then my mother choked to death on a muffin, and here I am now. You can't make it up. Real life can be more unexpected and inexplicable than stories sometimes. I don't know how to say that, but I know what it means, okay? I'm not the best reader. I try my best when it's difficult words. My sister trembles on my left. My great aunt, Enid, on my right. She's wearing something that looks like an old net curtain. Great Aunt Enid sniffs, dabbing her eyes with her handkerchief. I can't tell whether she's crying or if she just has something stuck in her eye. It's her sister. She would be crying, man. Like, she's known her for years. Should I hold Hazel's hand? She's only 18. That's far too young. This is her first funeral. Not like me. I've seen several funerals in my time. I guess that's to be expected when you're this old. The first was my mother's mother, Grandma Rose. I was 4 when it happened, and I didn't really understand what was going on. After that came Grandpa Len, Great Aunt Henrietta, and our family's friend, Aunt Ruth. She wasn't a real aunt, but she took care of me so often when I was a child, she might as well have been. She died on a holiday in Spain, slipped and fell in the shower, banged her head. She didn't get back up. That's horrible. That's a horrible death to die like that. You slipped in the shower. Now, that makes me scared now. But what if I slip in the shower and end up dying? You know what I mean? I think dying in the shower must be a particularly undignified way to go, especially for a woman like Aunt Ruth. She was always shy. I wonder, would that be more or less embarrassing than dying in a cozy cafe on Stafford Street, surrounded by gawping onlookers? I don't know. Maybe it isn't for me to judge. Ranking deaths in order of ridiculousness is probably quite a colossal thing to do at a funeral. Cassandra and said I was callous. She might have had a point. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Hazel's eyes are wet. She sniffs, wiping her tears away with the back of her arm. So much errors I'm making. I'm her big brother. I should hold her hand. Isn't that my job? To provide comfort and companionship? But the gap between her hand and mine seems too large. It's like chasm. Completely insurmountable. No idea what that last word just meant. Oh my god, this is pretty sad. Why am I here? Why am I sitting on this wooden pew in this uncomfortable black suit that's slightly too small for me? I don't like wearing suits. They're so impersonal. You can use them for anything. Weddings, funerals, christenings, even standing as the accused in court. Suits might make you look a little smarter, but they don't really mean anything. This is a farce, a joke. I don't see my parents for a year, and when I do, it's like this. In a suit, in a church, with my mother in a casket. No way. I can't even bring myself to cry. It's all too ridiculous. Choking on a banana and brain muffin. Who would cry over something like that? That is the horrible way just to go down. You choked on a muffin. You gotta say, it's just so sad. Like, come on, man. Makes me scared. I might choke on something too. I still can't believe it, says Hazel. And she's not the only one. Neither can I. It's only been 5 hours since our mother's body was burnt and scattered to the wind. And me, my father, and my sister are sat around the kitchen table playing Risk. Risk is one of those strange games almost every middle class family seems to own, but nobody actually likes it. Playing it takes far too long, and either people can't take it seriously at all, or they take it far too seriously, often resulting in arguments and accusations being flung from one side of the table to the other. Maybe that's why we're playing it. It's some strange form of self-punishment. It might seem boorish or crass, insensitive, even to play a board game that's actually fun, like Cluedo or Cranium, on the same day our mother's corpse was cremated. There, dear, says Dad, looking slightly more disheveled than usual. We all have to go someday. Your mother was just, His voice catches in his throat. He looks pained. It was just unfortunate, that's all, he finishes. No, that's not what I meant, says Hazel, shaking her head. I meant the priest. Hey, do you think he looked like a villain from a Disney film, I ask? Really? Yeah, like that guy from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the kinky one. No idea how to say that. Well, now you say it, I can kind of see it. I don't know whether it's her talking or something, because there's no like title name. Hazel laughs, but not for very long. Maybe she feels too guilty to laugh. That is why we're playing Risk, after all. I just meant the priest. Hazel pauses, a pained expression on her face. He kept saying Mum's name wrong. Her name is Eve, not Evelyn. Nobody called her Evelyn. Why at a funeral? Her shoulders shake. She looks like she's going to cry. It was Mum's funeral. It was supposed to be about her, but he couldn't even get her name right. Hazel, dear. Hazel, says Dad. He embraces Hazel, but he doesn't curb her tears. If anything, they seem to intensify. That guy knew nothing about Mum. Absolutely nothing, she says. He'd never met her before in his life. Yet he had the nerve to stand there, acting so important, pretending that he cared about her as much as we do. And he couldn't even get her name right. I know, dear, I know. Dad tries to placate her, patting her on the back gently. That's just how funerals are, I'm afraid. They're only formality. But it shouldn't be like that. It was Mum, and she died. And... I know, says Dad. He rests his chin on top of Hazel's head, letting her cry into his shoulder. have a tissue stuffed up my nose so the boogie doesn't come out, like the saliva boogie. That's why I'm laughing a bit. I look retarded. I'm getting old. I've been to enough funerals to know the priests don't have to care. They're just doing their jobs. That's all there is to it, he says tiredly. Yeah, at least it's not as bad as Great Aunt Henrietta's funeral. I say, attempting to lighten the mood. Oh jeez, it's like depressing times. Oops. What do you mean? Asks Hazel, blinking away her tears. Her face is wet and crumpled, like it's been through the washing machine. Her eyes are rimmed red, her eyelashes stuck together in clumps. I should have held her hand. Why didn't I hold her hand? I try to offer her a smile, but it feels awkward and unnatural. They kept calling Great Aunt Henrietta Harriet. Really? I don't know why I keep doing that, asks Hazel. Really? Everyone got pretty mad. Ah, Dad nods his head. I remember that. Didn't your Great Aunt Enid want to file a formal complaint? I think so, but nothing came of it. I don't know if Great Aunt Enid had a leg to stand on, since she thought Aunt Henrietta was called Hermione. So I don't know how to say that, man. The three of us laugh a little, but it's half-hearted, half-formed, and fleeting. The laughter disappears discordantly, without a trace, making us all feel uncomfortable in the aftermath. Poor family. I don't even know her name. Poor Hazel. She's only 18 and she's experiencing that, and she's only 18. That's just crazy. A couple of years ago, I used to go out with a woman called Cassandra. It wasn't a serious relationship. There were no declarations of endless love and no plans for marriage. We just went out for drinks a couple of times a week, or occasionally to a film. Sometimes we went back to my place and had sex, and that was it. So pretty much like a have fun buddy or something. We were only together for 5 months. It was brief and fleeting, not worth getting upset over. I didn't really like her all that much, even though she was pretty. She was quite pretty. She had a nice smile, nice teeth too. But in all that time, though we went to my apartment several times, I never saw the inside of hers, not once. She said it was because she had a dog at home, her dear little Buddy, a stupid American name, and he was her baby. She said she didn't want Buddy to see us having sex. It would be unethical. It would be kind of like child abuse, you know, was what she always said. But I never really got it. Couldn't she just lock the bedroom door? But the door could hear moaning. Oh no, I could never do that. Buddy's like my baby. What mother would lock her own baby out of the bedroom? It's unethical. Cassandra said that a lot. About all kinds of things. She couldn't eat veal. It was unethical. She couldn't buy eggs from battery hens. It was unethical. She couldn't support gay marriage. It was unethical. And also unnatural. But she had nothing against people who were like that, you know. But that didn't stop her from going to KFC every once in a while. Cassandra often joked about her name. She said she was all-knowing, all-seeing, like the prophet. What prophet? I remember asking her. The Greek prophet, Cassandra. Able to see the future, but cursed with never being believed. I think that's kind of like me. Really? Really? Everything I say always comes true. It's the power of positive thinking. Cassandra was also a therapist. She believed strongly in the powers of positive thinking, being able to force herself out of the rut through sheer willpower. It all starts with the brain. The brain is an incredible muscle. You just need to learn to love this. You just need to learn to love yourself. Oh, okay. I thought it didn't make sense there. I wasn't so sure. Loving myself is kind of hard when I get told every day at work that I'm the scum of earth. I told her. She just sighed and said something vague and unhelpful, like, I sense that there is a lot of negative energy surrounding you. I told that of course there was. And what did she expect? Didn't she know that I worked in a call center Oh, geez, I wouldn't want to work there. Maybe you should quit your job, was Cassandra's invaluable advice. It sounds like it's upsetting you. Sorry, I don't know, it's just like a habit. Well, yeah, I think that's kind of inevitable. You'd need to be made of steel not to get worn down doing my job. I see. Cassandra would say that as though she really did see, just like the Greek prophet. I, however, had my doubts. You know, that's something I do with my patients when they're feeling blue. It's an exercise in positive thinking. Wow, sounds great. Oh, come on, don't be like that. You haven't even tried it yet. Neither did I want to, but I knew I didn't have a choice. You're going to make me, aren't you? Don't be silly. I'm not going to make you do anything. You're my partner, not my patient. I know, but I just want to help you out. Make you feel better. Turn that frown upside down. Though she said she wasn't going to make me do anything, Cassandra could be quite persuasive when she wanted to be. She got me to write down a list of my perceived negative qualities on a piece of scrap paper, then write opposing positive things on a different sheet of paper. For instance, if my perceived negative quality was something like I'm an awful son and I haven't seen my mother in a whole year, and I keep putting off calling her because I feel like I'm an embarrassment, I would write, I finished university with a 2.1 in my degree, and my mother told me she'd never been proud of me during graduation, on the positive sheet of paper. It sounded difficult. I told Cassandra I didn't want to do it. Couldn't we watch TV or something instead? But she was insistent. She said I was trying to run away from my problems. She said that was called avoidance. And though it was a suitable coping mechanism in some cases, it would be far healthier to deal with my problems head on. Look, I'll do a list too. That way, you won't have to feel alone, she said. I guess. And so Cassandra and I worked on our list, filled with both positive and negative qualities about ourselves. The negatives were easy. The positives were a lot harder. Right, said Cassandra. Once we had both finished, now we have to tear the negative sheet of paper up. Tear it up? That's right. This list represents all of your negative thoughts. Thoughts that are making you unhappy. It's pointless to dwell upon them, especially when they can be easily flipped around by the powers of positive thinking. For instance, Cassandra tapped a pointed fingernail against her list, directing my gaze at one of the points she'd written down. Interested in my any hidden secrets Cassandra might have buried away beneath her bright smile, I looked. Her negative list was far shorter than mine, and what Cassandra had written was this: worried about Buddy. I think he might be sick. I remember feeling distinctively cheated as I read through those two sentences, written in Cassandra's loopy cursive hand. Worried about Buddy? That's just the most simple name, Buddy. You go, hey Buddy, and your friend's like, yeah, what mate? And then he's like, no, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my dog. That wasn't a negative point about Cassandra. That was her being concerned about the health of her dog. Sorry, her baby. I stared at Cassandra's list, then my own, comparing them over and over. I felt more and more dysfunctional with every passing second. While Cassandra was fussing about eating too many derailleur triangles, here I was getting worked up over the state of my immortal soul. Do most people worry about gaining weight and the health of their pets? Is that really it? That isn't fair. I think my thought process went something like that. You need to tear up all of your negative thoughts, Cassandra said again. It's a cleansing process, like detoxing. I don't know about that. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Let those negative thoughts go. Just tear them up and don't look back. I tore up that sheet of paper without any real conviction. Cassandra tore hers up too. After that, we had something to drink, watch a mediocre movie on TV, then had sex. Wow, everything just ends with sex, doesn't it? A week later, Cassandra broke up with me. Buddy had died of a liver infection. Wow. As soon as she said, Buddy, I'm worried about Buddy being sick. As soon as she said that, he dies. What a fucking coincidental thing to happen. Can you pass the blueberry jam, please? Asks Hazel. Sure, here you go, I say, sliding the jar over to her. Thanks, she says, with a small smile. The atmosphere around the breakfast table is a little staid, to say the least. When do we meet this Lily girl, or Lily, whatever you call it? With the absence of Mum, made conspicuous by a single empty chair, you'd think it would feel unnatural, incomplete, as though something's missing, like doing a jigsaw puzzle and discovering the very last piece is gone. But that isn't true. Don't know why I keep doing it. To me, at least. Our family has always been divided. I was 16 when Hazel was born. For 16 years I sat at this table. My mother, my father, and me. Only 3 people. The arrival of Hazel made 4, but she was too little to sit in that extra chair. My mother had to breastfeed her, cradling Hazel in her arms. After about 5 months, Hazel graduated to a high chair. It wasn't the one I'd used when I was little. That had been given to our next door neighbour, Mrs. Whitman. It was a new chair in suitably girlish plush pink. And so the 4th seat remained empty. By the time Hazel was old enough to sit in her own wooden chair, unaided, I had already left home. One chair has always been empty around our table. This time, the only difference is, rather than it being Hazel's or mine, it's our mother's. That's some sad shit. Hazel spreads a thick layer of blueberry jam on her toast, and she doesn't eat it. So he's like 30 and then she's like 18. That's like a big gap, you know what I mean? 16-year gap. She stares at her plate, her eyes unfocused. I'm not hungry either, but perhaps not for the same reason Hazel is. Not that I know what Hazel's thinking. Cassandra's list of negative traits was so much shorter than mine. Maybe I'm selfish. That's why I piled so many negatives onto myself, one after another, like Hazel with her blueberry jam. It's because I only think about myself. Even now, at the breakfast table, the first breakfast after my mother's funeral, I'm still thinking about myself. Aren't you going to eat that, sweetheart? Asks his dad. She shrugs. I guess I'm not hungry. But I thought you loved blueberry jam. I do, but, well... Hazel pauses, frowning. Mum loved blueberry jam too. She did, didn't she? Says Dad. Did she? I don't remember. Yeah, he's been gone for ages, you know what I mean? I think I'll go to my room. Hazel suddenly declares, getting to her feet. Her toast remains on a plate uneaten. Maybe I'll give Cass a call. Cass? I frown. The name is unfamiliar. Casper, you know, says Hazel. But I don't. I'm beginning to feel like I should though. Well, and my voice trails off. I run Casper through my mind, but all that comes back is the friendly ghost. Who'd be cruel enough to call their kid that? It is a Casper the ghost. Hazel looks unimpressed. She frowns. I already told you this, Dumbo. He's my boyfriend, remember? Oh, okay. Well, now that you mention it, maybe I do remember somebody like that. You're hopeless. The least you could do is remember the name of my own sister's boyfriend. I bow my head. Chastiste. I don't know, whatever, man. I'm sorry, Hazel. I'm just getting old. Well, you are pretty old, I guess. Positively prehistoric, I agree. Hazel giggles. At least that's something. You know what? She says. What? I ask. I think I can see some grey hairs all the way over here. Huh? I run my hands through my hair. Not that it will shed any light on Hazel's statement. It might be true. I don't know for sure. I don't look in mirrors very often. But I am 34 right now. Wow. What happened? Where did all the time go? He's 34. It's like... she's 18. Damn. It wasn't so long ago that I was in my 20s. 29? That's still young, isn't it? So why did the 30s suddenly seem so much older? Because it's 30. Like it's like close to 40s. Jesus. My mother was 24 when she had me. A whole 10 years younger than I am now. But by that point, my mother was married to my father, and they'd already bought their own house. I, on the other hand, still work at the same shitty insurance company I've worked at since I left university. I don't have a girlfriend, let alone a wife, and I'm not planning on having children anytime soon. Now, to cap it all off, my hair's apparently gone grey. Where did my life go so wrong? Still laughing, my sister exits the kitchen. The kitchen door closes behind her with a slam. The room is engulfed in silence once more. It feels like I'm sitting at the bottom of the ocean. My father coughs and clears his throat. He turns to me. "So, when are you going back to work?" he asks. "I don't know. I haven't had any days off before, so I'm sure they won't mind if I'm away for a while." "That's right. You're a hard worker, and the hard work gets rewarded," he says. "Perhaps a touch too, hopefully. I think you deserve to take a break." Taking a break in Wales, huh? It's hardly Spain or Greece. There's no warm weather, no nice beaches, no pretty girls in bikinis, just rain and sheep. Fantastic. But at least it's not London. Thank God it's not London. "Are you going to do anything today?" Dad asked. "I know there isn't much around here, but..." My father hangs his head. Is he trying to apologize on behalf of the entirety of Wales? That isn't fair. Nobody should have to shoulder that burden alone. It's far too heavy for any mortal hand to hold. "I think I'll go for a walk," I say. "It's been a while since I came back. Might as well make the most of it." "That's a good idea," my dad says, with a touch too much enthusiasm. It might not look it, but there are some nice places around here. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed it so far. I will finish this. It's actually been quite a while, like 30 minutes already. Hope you enjoyed it, and take care. Peace out.